This is Lori and Sasha again, and today we're going to make applesauce. So we've made one batch already of no sugar, but we're using these apples. They were free, they were given to us, and there's little bug bites in them. They're organic. So what you want to do first is we have an apple peeler core slicer, and we took the core slicer off. We're going to just peel them. We've got our garbage bowl, and then we have another bowl with some fruit fresh and water in it to keep them from turning. Now if they turn, it's not going to hurt the apples. It's not going to hurt your applesauce. It'll just make your applesauce darker. If you're going to add cinnamon anyway or sugar, you can skip that step if you want to. It's not going to hurt anything. So we're going to do this and peel one. We just have our peeler here. Just going to peel it real fast. And then we'll slice it up and stick it in the fruit fresh and water. You don't have to peel them and slice them and do all that if you have like a juicer. You can just stick them in there, but
not a juicer, a de-seeder more.
Yeah, a de-seeder.
Yeah.
But then you can't see any bug bites or anything like that, and we're just rough chopping it. This way we can actually see if there's a little bug bite in it somewhere, or you can take the rest of the peeling off. Because you're going to cook these down to a mush anyway. See, you want to be able to cut all that out. So we are going to stop the video for a minute and finish doing all these apples. We'll be right back. Okay, here's the chopped up apples. It is
a lot.
A lot. More than what we had intended to put in there, but this is what we got left over after the first batch. The first batch was a little shy. The Ball Book of Canning calls to put enough water in here to keep it from scorching. And most people put a lid on it and do that. If you stand here and stir, of course this is a lot, it won't stick, and I don't like adding any more water in our applesauce, so I just don't do that. So this is going to take a while. So we're going to turn this off and cook these down.
Yeah.
We'll be right back. Okay, you can see it doesn't look any different, but if you dig down a little bit, you can see there's plenty of fluid, or plenty of apple liquid in there. So you don't really need to add any, because there really is plenty. As you can see, it's cooked down a whole bunch, and we're just about to applesauce, so we're going to add the sugar. We're going to make this a little sweeter. Not everybody likes tart applesauce. So we're going to start with a little over a cup. So, and it's to taste, so you can do it however you want. So, oops. This is real life cooking. We're going to start with that, and I'm going to wash this off, and we're going to stir that in, and then taste it. And it calls for a 1/4 cup of sugar for every pound of apples. But you know, it only takes 3 or 4, depending on your apples, the size, to make a pound. And you can see right away how much thinner this is just from the sugar. The sugar will cause the fluid to be a little thinner. Yeah.
I don't think you can really tell in the video though.
No, but you can. When you stir it, you'll be able to feel it.
Trust us, it is.
Yes. So we're going to let this cook a few more minutes, taste it, and see how much more sugar we need to add. Okay, we added a 1.5 cups. We tasted it, and it needed just a little more. So about 1.5 cups of sugar, and it's cooked down a bunch. And the apples are, you can see, they're mostly soft. You're going to have 1 or 2 every now and then that's not as soft. So we are going to finish our applesauce instead of putting it through the
de-seeder thing.
Yeah. We just decided we would hand smash it to leave some texture. You can put it in a food processor if you want, or a blender,
Food
yeah, food mill, anything
that'll make it smooth.
that'll make it as smooth as you want it. So as soon as we get done getting the texture we want, we're going to put it in the jars. Alright, we're ready to can. And it does pop, so you're probably going to
Get a splash with molten apple.
Yes, at least once. We're going to get our jar out. We have really hard water here, so rinse them out really good. And ladle it in. Hopefully without splattering yourself too much. You can hear a dog running in the background. Try to get all the bubbles out. And leave a
half-inch headspace, I think it says.
Headspace.
Yeah, I think that's what it says. Here, need this first.
Yeah, wipe the rim. You don't want any little apple pieces keeping it from sealing. Make sure your rings and lids are hot, and these are. And just give it a little twist, hand tighten it. And stick it back in here so that, and you do them one at a time so that no bacteria has a chance to get in your food. If you do it one at a time, they used to just set all the jars out and they would fill them all and then do it, but they recommend that you do it one at a time now keep all the germs out. And you want to keep your apples cooking so they're good and hot still. I have all my utensils over here on a plate so that everything's staying nice and clean. And I'm just kind of giving a little stir and making sure we get all the air bubbles out. We don't want any air bubbles in it. That can use just a little more. Might be a smidge full.
A little bit.
So because of that, I am going to take some out. So I got my spoon and I'm just going to make sure that it's sterilized. Even though, you know, your utensils are clean because you eat with them. You can't be too safe when you're canning. Better to be overcautious and
alive.
Yeah, alive than. Oh, my lids and rings came apart. They made this nifty little gadget that's a magnet instead of these, but
we're cheap.
Yeah, 99% of the time you don't have any trouble. Watch me set the towel on fire. This is what you don't do. You just hand tighten them and stick them back in here. And when you get those filled, we're going to turn the water back on. Bring it up to a boil for
20 minutes.
20 minutes. Put the lid on, boil it for 20 minutes, turn it off. Let it sit a couple minutes and take them out and they'll be ready to go. This is our last one. We filled it. We're going to put it back in the canner. Bring it back up. Put the lid on it. After it starts boiling, we will set the timer for 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And then we'll let them cool and then we'll be done. We cook this for 20 minutes and then turn it off and let it stop boiling and for 10 minutes, and we now have finished applesauce.
Hey.
We will set these on the counter, and when you hear the top of it ping, it'll make a pinging sound, and it's vacuum sealing itself. And then you can enjoy applesauce for the rest of the year. Thanks for watching our video.